The headlines: suspected terrorists invade Sabangida community, abduct unspecified female students of Federal University Gusau, Zamfara State. Security agents, locals kill 21 bandits in Kebbi State. Plateau Tribunal upholds Governor Mufwang's election. From the international scene, UN investigators warn of risks of future war atrocities in Ethiopia. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us. And now the details. Suspected terrorists have abducted unspecified female students of the Federal University Gusau Fugus in their off-campus hostel at Sabangida, Zamfara State. The terrorists were said to have stormed the community in large numbers, broken into the student hostel, abducting a number of female students. Sources from the community said when the terrorists launched an attack, that very few people narrowly escaped. They said that we cannot tell the exact number of the students abducted by the terrorists. Now, efforts to get the police and the university authority to confirm the incident were unsuccessful, as they did not respond to calls nor SMS sent to them. Sabang community is the host community of Federal University Gusau, where many of the students are staying off campus. The community has faced several attacks and abductions of students. The more recent was the abduction of 5 students of the Federal University Gusau who spent 5 months in captivity before they were freed 3 weeks ago. The House of Representatives has met with the Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, the NYSC, over the kidnapping of 8 corps members in Zamfara State. Chairman of the committee, Martins Essin, said the meeting became imperative as the House was worried by the situation and wants to know what the NYSC was doing to effect the release of the corps members. The report.
Over 30 days ago, gunmen abducted 8 National Youth Service Corps NYSC members in Zamfara State. Report has it that the corps members were traveling in an Akwa Ibom Transport Company bus from Uyo, Akwa Ibom State to Sokoto for the 1-year national service when their vehicle was intercepted by the hoodlums. The House of Representatives is worried about the situation and called for an interactive meeting with the management of the scheme. Chairman of the committee, Martins Essin, says the House is open to supporting the scheme and is confident that with the efforts and collaborations being made so far, the kidnapped corps members will soon be reunited with the family.
We want a situation where we don't continue to talk about the same matter every time. So we'd like to also know what the scheme is putting in place going forward to see that we don't find ourselves in this kind of situation. And just hear from you what you have done, the level of empathy you have shown in touching base with the families of this corps member.
Members of the committee also sought to find out what the NYSC is doing to improve the scheme.
I'm aware that staff of INEC enjoy what is called hazard allowance. I don't know if this is part of what the corps members are enjoying, because they are exposed into dangers, which is also part of the hazard.
I want to know if there is any plan or program for corps members after the 1-year mandatory program. If there is any exit plan for them.
Dealing with the current issue at hand, what are the measures we are equally putting in place that a recurrence of such issue does not happen?
The Director General of the NYSC, Brigadier General Yushew Ahmed, while responding to questions, said the scheme has been interacting with the kidnappers and assured the House that the abducted corps members will soon be released.
This contact that we're making in disguise as parents. Within this period, I've already made contact with the parents of these children, some of them. have their phone numbers, like 3 or 4 of them. I started talking with them, and I told them I'm on ground to see what was happening.
The committee urged the NYSC management team to visit the families of the kidnapped corps members and empathize with them.
At least 21 suspected bandits have reportedly been killed by combined forces of security operatives and members of the vigilante group in Danko Wasagu local government area of Kebbi State on Wednesday. Danko Wasagu local government chairman Hussaini Aliyu Bena said the bandits were crossing into Kebbi through Mariga in Niger State when they were ambushed and Tudun Bichi by combined forces of security agents and members of vigilante group in the area. He said Wasagu shares a border with Mariga in Niger State, from where the bandits had been having easy access to communities in Kebbi State. The council chairman said the bandits also killed Marafan Mainua under Kenya district, abducting some people, but were later rescued by the army after killing some of the bandits, while calling for deployment of more military personnel to Malekachi and Dankade, 2 communities that have remained transit route for the bandits. He commended the gallantry of the combined forces of security agents, vigilante groups and locals in dealing with the bandits. Police Public Relations Officer SP Nafiu Abubakar said the State Police Command was yet to be briefed on the incident. The Managing Director, Northeast Development Commission, the NEDC, Muhammad Al-Kali, said they are working closely with the University of Maiduguri and other stakeholders to establish a museum on Boko Haram insurgency in the region. Al-Kali disclosed this on Thursday during the commemoration of International Day of Peace 2023 in Maiduguri, said the establishment of the museum was aimed at giving the narratives of Boko Haram insurgency in a positive way to create social changes. He said that the museum will give the stakeholders the opportunity to give the narratives positively for upcoming generation to understand the consequences of war in the region and the country at large. He noted that the Commission is open to giving any support within its mandate to defeat violence extremism in the region. Earlier, the President of Peace Ambassadors Center for Humanitarian Aid and Empowerment, Ahmed Shehu, commended the NEDC for offering timely support to the young talents. Gunmen have allegedly killed 3 internally displaced persons while working at their farms in Gwer West local government area of Benue State. Iba Terna Jacob, who is the chairman of Agagbe IDP camp in Gwer West local government area, said that the 3 deceased left their family members in the camp on Wednesday to work at their respective farms before they met their deaths in the hands of the armed invaders. He identified the trio as Autumn Chiata, 25, Targule Shetshivir, 30, and Kusa Amos, 50 years old. The Police Public Relations Officer, SP Catherine Aneni, said she was yet to receive any information about the incident. Still on security, a kidnapped staff of Nigeria Television Authority, the NTA, Tom Tikia, and 12 other passengers of Benue Links bus have regained their freedom from captivity. The 13 people, including driver of the bus, were kidnapped on Sunday while traveling in the state-owned transport company's Benue Link bus along Otukpo Ogbokolo Road in Okpoku local government area of Benue State. The vehicle was returning to Makurdi from Onitsha in Anambra State when the gun-wielding kidnappers hijacked it in Okpoku local government area. Some family sources of the freed victims alleged that they paid a total sum of 7.5 million naira to secure the release of the victims. But Secretary General of the Amalgamated Union of Public Cooperation, Civil Service, Technical and Recreational Services Employees, Gabriel Tachia, told our correspondent on telephone on Thursday that he does not know about the payment of any ransom for the release of the victim. Tachia said all the victims, however, regained their freedom on Wednesday night. Meanwhile, the police public relations officer for Benue Command, SP Catherine Anene, said she was yet to get information about the development. The parish priest of St. Mary Catholic Church, Amofia Guafa, in Udi, local government area of the state, Reverend Father Marcelinus Okide, who was kidnapped along Eke-Afa Egede Road while returning to his parish, has regained his freedom. Father Okide was kidnapped on Sunday en route to his parish with other people in his vehicle. Reports say that he was kidnapped while traveling along the Eke-Egede-Afa Road in the evening. The Diocesan Communication Director, Reverend Father Anthony Aneke, confirmed Father Okide's release on Friday morning, but didn't disclose whether a ransom was paid or not. Also, a statement Aneke signed by Diocesan Councillor Secretary Father Wilfred Chidi Ogubuche thanked the Christians for their prayers during the trial moment. In politics, the Plateau State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Jos has upheld the election of Governor Caleb Mutfwang of the People's Democratic Party. The tribunal also dismissed the petition filed by the Dr. Nentawe Yeltwade, the governorship candidate of the All Progressive Congress, APC. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, had declared Caleb Mutfwang as the winner of the governorship election held on March 18th. But the APC candidate had challenged the declaration of Mutfwang as winner and asked the court to declare him winner on the grounds that the PDP lacked structure and that there was overvoting. The petitioner also asked the court to include the votes of the 14 polling units rejected by the INEC in his tally. Delivering judgment on Friday, the chairman of the tribunal, Justice R. Irele Ifine, held that the petitioners lacked locus to challenge internal affairs of the PDP. The tribunal also held that the PDP actually held a repeat Congress in September 2021 in compliance with the order of the Jos High Court given by Justice S.P. Gang. It dismissed the petition. Now joining us via phone from Jos is Daily Trust reporter Ado Musa to give highlights of the tribunal's judgment. Ado Musa, thank you for joining us this afternoon. Now, can you give us, the reasons, apart from lack of locus, from upholding the election of Governor Caleb Mutfwang as governor of Plateau State? Why did the tribunal, give that verdict?
Well, just like you have just said, the APC candidate presented 3 grounds and asking the court to also consider them. But in their ruling, that is the governorship tribunal led by Irele Ifine, she said that on the first ground, which the APC candidate was also challenging the Plateau State governor, which has to do with party structure. They say he lacks the party, or rather he says he doesn't have the jurisdiction to challenge the party structure of the PDP since he's not the member of that particular party. And she also added that challenging the party structure is a pre-election matter, and therefore he has no jurisdiction to challenge the governor on that ground. On ground 2, which has to do with overvoting, the chairman of the panel also read that the APC governor, or rather his council, failed to provide any substantial evidence that will show them that yes, there was overvoting during the election. And on ground 3, the chairman said that since the court has dismissed the first and second ground, there is no any reason for the tribunal to also consider the third ground. She therefore said that the PDP has a valid structure and that the APC has no substantial evidence to also prove that yes, there was overvoting during the election. So that was why they rely on and then dismiss the petition by the APC candidate.
So how is the APC candidate, Nentawe Yelwat, taking the judgment? Is his team saying anything about an appeal?
Yes, well, after the judgment, the counsel to the APC candidate, that is Edward Pajok, he told journalists that they were not happy, or rather they are not satisfied with the judgment, and he's assuring us that they are going to appeal the case. So definitely, I'm very sure that based on what Edward Pajok, who is the counsel to the APC candidate, says that they are going to appeal the case. So definitely, they will appeal the case.
All right. So what is the reaction of the people of Plateau State, regarding this judgment?
Well, those who are happy have been celebrating. Those who are not happy, you understand, they look very angry. Prior to the judgment day, since yesterday, there was security personnel everywhere to ensure that the judgment was done in a peaceful manner. So up to this morning, when you go around the city center of Jos, where the court is located, you see security personnel almost everywhere. People are also going about their normal activities. Business is also going on normally. So what you can only understand is for those who are happy, or rather for those who are happy with the judgment, you see that yes, they have been celebrating. And those who are not happy, they look angry. You understand that yes, they are not happy with the judgment.
All right, thank you so much, Ado Musa, for that update from Jos. You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up, we'll take a look at gamble of living under high voltage electric cable. This and more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Update on Trust TV. Here's a recap of our top stories. Report you suspected terrorists invade Sabongida community, abduct unspecified female students of Federal University Gusau, Zamfara State. And security agents locals killed 21 bandits in Kebbi State. Moving on to more stories, the stakeholders in Nigeria's Hajj exercise has converged in Abuja to confront the various challenges experienced during this year's pilgrimage to the Holy Land. The forum, convened under the auspices of independent Hajj reporters, aimed to provide a platform for dialogue and collaboration among stakeholders, with a view to foster deeper understanding and proactive approach towards overcoming the obstacles encountered during this exercise. Trust TV's Khadija Bowers reports.
The theme of the conversation is recognizing dedication and reviewing challenges of the 2023 Hajj exercise. Chairman, National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, Zikrullah Kule Hassan, says the forum is significant to Hajj administration, which, according to him, has witnessed remarkable progress despite some specific challenges that need to be addressed.
Some of the recommendations are part of those things we already have on the drawing table. And of course, what it means is that we'll have to continuously see how we can put effect to some of these issues that have already been resolved. We are faced indeed with the fact of exchange rates, and that is why in our own way we have announced early enough for people to get ready to pay.
Also speaking, Ambassador Zubairu Dada underscored the need of constant public engagement to tackle the identified challenges undermining smooth conduct of Hajj exercise.
And we must therefore have the courage to always do an objective assessment and analysis of our performances with a view to identifying areas of lapses in order to avoid a recurrence and improving on our performances going forward.
Coordinator of the Independent Hajj Reporters Forum, Muhammad Ibrahim, explained that the theme of the event was aimed at providing the basis for a robust engagement among stakeholders in Hajj exercise for improved service delivery.
This is an event instituted by the Association of Independent Hajj Reporters of Nigeria, primarily aimed at reviewing the challenge of a previous Hajj exercise and come out with an alternative solution on how to overcome those challenges in the next year Hajj. And secondly, we also institute an award based on different categories, which is a subject of a report of economy.
Speakers at the forum identified several challenges facing the Hajj operation in the country, including the welfare and attitude of pilgrims, the issue of scavenging during Hajj, and the state of accommodation of pilgrims, among others. Outstanding performance by some journalists during this year's Hajj exercise was recognized, just as the forum called on Nigerian authorities to unmask culprits behind the gruesome killing of a journalist in Gusau, Zamfara State recently.
The problems or challenges we go through, and the issue of ensuring there is that censorship of media practice. You must self-censor yourself, and that's horrible. We have economic issues which is prevalent in our clime. You have ownership issues, you have poor welfare packages for journalists, poor remuneration and all that. These are all issues we face every other day.
Stakeholders in the Hajj industry agreed that there is room for improvement in the delivery of a smooth Hajj exercise, tasking the National Hajj Commission to implement far-reaching recommendations towards improving subsequent operations. Khadija Bowers, Trust TV News.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria, the TCN, says despite obvious dangers, that some residents of Kaduna State are still erecting structures under high-tension cables. Some of the affected residents say they are aware of the dangers involved but have no place to go if they vacate their residence. Trust TV's Bello Musa visited the affected communities in Kaduna metropolis and sent in this report.
It is obvious the residents here are living under imminent danger. The high-tension wires appear to be directly above the roof of these residents. Although some do not understand the dangers, others who do are afraid of living in such communities.
I
have lived in this environment for years, and we have not had issues with high-tension cables because the cables were replaced with new ones. Our challenge is during the rainy season. During that period, the cables vibrate, and sometimes some of us have to rush out of our houses in fear. It will be difficult to remove houses here. Instead of removing them, the authorities concerned should relocate the cables to somewhere else. Some are afraid to live here. Some people had to abandon their houses due to fear. Building structures on unapproved areas like right-of-ways is still persisting despite effort by the authorities concerned to prevent such. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, says the issue has been very disturbing to the company.
The right-of-ways is 25 meters from the center of our 330 kV line to both sides. There should not be a structure there. On the 132 is 15 meters from the center to both sides. But if you look at even here in Mando, Barakallah, and other places, you see building directly under the higher tension line. And that is very dangerous because anything can happen. Once this conductor swing, what will happen will be very catastrophic.
It's the responsibility of this agency to approve or disapprove any structure, not even high tension, but all those development you see under high tension is unapproved by this agency, and we have telling them, warning them, enlightening them on the danger of building under high tension.
The TCN says some legal issues are preventing them from enforcing compliance.
The problem is TCN on their own cannot demolish structure. There will be, this time there will be some legal virtue. Somebody will go to court, somebody will do this. We just need the relevant agencies like KASUBDA, town planning, and what have you, civil defense. We need their cooperation to impose this law because the law is there, but we cannot impose it. TCN cannot impose it.
For more than a decade now, high-tension cables have been reportedly falling on low-tension cables, leading to deaths of many at Konar Faruqai village in Kaduna. Bella Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
From the international scene, UN-appointed investigators have warned that more atrocities were likely to be carried out in Ethiopia and called for continued scrutiny of Addis Ababa's human rights record as their work faces termination amid strong African-led opposition. Thousands of people died in a 2-year conflict between the government and regional forces from Tigray, which formally came to an end in November last year. Both sides accused each other of atrocities, including massacres, rape, and arbitrary detentions, but each denied responsibility for systematic abuses. The International Commission of Human Rights Experts on Ethiopia, composed of 3 independent experts, said earlier this week in a report that war crimes and crimes against humanity were still being committed in Ethiopia. And with that, we wrap up News Update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. You can join our YouTube Live for more news, programs, and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.